What is up, everybody? My name is Dr. Mongoose, and I'm not a doctor, but I play one on the internet. And bringing you today my thoughts on the newly announced Black Ops 2 DLC. It'll be if you want to, to actually learn about the DLC, I'll post their video preview in the description. And this is kind of going to be both a commentary on Black Ops 2 and how Treyarch has handled DLC in the past, and kind of an overall view of Call of Duty DLC. In general. The gameplay you see here is some League play with GG, Insane, Photon, and Oyich. It's a very good game. At least I feel. My personal performance isn't too great in it, but the overall gameplay ends up being very good, and I'll let you guys enjoy that. So, for those of you who did not know, Black Ops 2 had some DLC announced, I believe, in the last couple of days. For their next map pack, and it is called Uprising. It comes with 4 new maps and 1 new zombie mode, so it seems that they're keeping in the that sort of vein when it comes to any sort of DLC map packs. And the 4 maps are Magma, Encore, Vertigo, and Studio, with Mob of the Dead being the zombies mode. And this is just off of their website. I'm gonna read you the brief descriptions of each of the packs. Is Magma, lava carving through a modern Japanese village leaves rivers of fiery damage in its wake, providing players with dangerous terrain, compromising cover, and frenetic firefights for survival. Encore, set on the grounds of following a bustling London music festival, the central stage provides players with key vantage point overlooking the close quarters battles of the surrounding amphitheater and main tents. Vertigo, high above the clouds atop a mega skyscraper in India, players must battle across a VTOL landing pad and through the transportation terminal, bringing you to new dimensions of verticality to every battle. Studio, set on a Hollywood studio backlot, players will take cover in a wide array of classic movie sets and reimagined adaptation of the fan-favorite multiplayer map Firing Range. And you can read descriptions all you want, and there's a video that kind of details some of the maps like they did for the first DLC pack. And the maps, obviously, they look beautiful. They everything looks good. Everything kind of seems interesting. But this kind of goes more towards the other side of the video, which is the idea behind DLC. And with a lot of DLC for a lot of first-person shooters, the idea is that you want to mix up both fan favorite remakes or fan favorite ideas with newer innovations in map design. And there are some companies who are / were very good at this. Bungie for Halo 2, for example, with their Halo 2 map packs, they had some newer maps that played to all of the strengths of the game and all of their very popular game modes in it, while still, they brought back a couple of maps from Halo CE. Same thing for Halo 3, where they had a midship remake, but at the same time they had the terrible Lockout remake. We just pretend that doesn't happen. Companies, I would say, that are not very good at this would have been 343 with how they tried to re-implement some of the maps from Halo 1 into Halo Reach. Battle Canyon being the outlier in that, because that was a very fun map to play, even if it still had all the balance issues that Battle Canyon Beaver Creek had from previous iterations of the game. And especially when it comes to Call of Duty DLC, it's been at least for me, from what I saw, especially with Modern Warfare 2, which was the last game before Black Ops 2 that I played very heavily, is that it is really kind of a battle between remaking old maps and remaking old popular maps versus trying to do something new with how they're making a map or doing some sort of new thing. And for Modern Warfare 2 and a lot of Call of Duty games, it seems that they like to go more safe, maybe more remakes, and sticking with an older formula with what works. And that's not necessarily bad, but if that's your entire model for how you're going to do DLC or new maps, you're going to have some stagnation throughout throughout your map pool, and your fan base is obviously going to get a little tired, which you could see kind of after Modern Warfare 2. People's like, oh, we have to pay. You're really making us pay $12, $15 for maps on CoD 4 that I could just pop the disc in and play. Like, it was people weren't really happy with how remake happy Call of Duty had gotten close to the end, and I don't remember any of the DLC for Black Ops. I think it mostly centered around zombies, and even then people weren't entirely happy because like, oh well, we want some more multiplayer spaces, and all you're giving us are zombie spaces. And I know nothing for Modern Warfare 3, so if any of you guys can correct me on that one, that'd be helpful. But for Black Ops 2, and I like the way that Treyarch has kind of been approaching DLC in this regard, is that they are giving you options. Their last DLC pack, and this is very rare for me to say about really any sort of DLC for Call of Duty, is that it was much strong. It was a very strong statement, just right off the bat. Like most of the time, you have maps like, oh, there's one good map. There's maybe an okay map, but most of the time there's one map only people want to play. For this last one, the only map I'm not a fan of is Downhill, just because I don't like the size of it. But that's kind of a personal thing for me. I know there are a lot of people who like Downhill, and I'll play Downhill, and it's not like when Downhill comes up, it's like, oh fucking god, it's Downhill. It's all of the maps are good. All the maps are fairly well balanced. You have I get a lot of enjoyment out of playing all of them, and that's very rare for DLC. Like I said, it's just there's one map everyone loves. Grind is awesome. Hydro is awesome. Downhill is, for me, meh. The new zombies mode was also incredibly fun. I've only played it a couple times. I'm not a huge zombies player, but it's still enjoyable. And so the way that Treyarch has kind of been approaching DLC content, it seems, is that they are building maps that fit kind of fit a style of play for each thing. Like you have Grind, it's close quarters, a lot of curves, a lot of color. Like there's it's very quick and frenetic action. Hydro, it's kind of a mid-sized map, so it's like kind of a jack of all trades sort of play style. And then you have Downhill, which is a very large map, and you have that allows for the more long range, sniping, all of that sort of thing. I feel like I'm missing one map in here, and Mirage, and Mirage, which is kind of like just a funky map because you have a lot of different routes you can take. Mirage is also, well, Mirage, the only thing I don't like playing Mirage on is Search and Destroy for reasons that are a little too long to explain in this video. But each map is, it's a very, very strong, it's a very, very strong map that tailors to a certain style of play on each map, but at the same time you can play it the way you want. Whereas with past DLCs, if it's just a remake, you have to kind of play it one way, or you have to do certain things to work your own play style. And with these new maps, and from the video I saw, and I'll have a link to that in an annotation probably right around here, is that each of the maps is they're very original in in how they're designed. They're bringing back color to Call of Duty maps, which is very, very rare, seeing as we've been stuck with kind of this little gray, this 50 Shades of Gray palette for since CoD 4. It's like, oh, you have brown and there's a different shade of brown. So it's nice to see color coming back to Call of Duty maps. And at the same time, you have a varied style of how the map works. You have kind of the same. You have the introduction of these different environmental hazards with hydro and magma. Instead of just doing a direct remake, they have a remake in studio. They have a pseudo remake when it comes to firing range, which was a very fun map for Black Ops 1. But instead of just doing a direct one-to-one and remake, they are building a new map and then incorporating parts of it, which is, I feel, the best way that, unless you're going to do a direct remake, that's really one of the better ways to do it, because it allows you to be creative, but at the same time, still play to what fans enjoyed. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on the new map pack are. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to please watch 2 of my videos and call me in the morning. You guys all have a very nice day.
I've got you.
Never a doubt.